All right. Hey, welcome back. You might have noticed no Friday video, no Monday video. Just some topics that I wasn't too interested in anything, and I like to be interested in the stories. I like to be actively engaged with what I'm talking about. So no videos when there's something I'm not engaged. But there are two developing stories that, while the facts might be a little sparse, I think they are interesting. They directly will impact us in the future in some way, and I thought we could share them. And that starts with the first one, and it's a topic that we've sort of covered before, but there's slightly new possible info on it. It does revolve around the Pico Neo 3. For those who don't know what the Pico Neo 3 is, or Pico as a headset vendor, well, it's another standalone headset that's out there in the East. These are Eastern markets. Yes, you can sort of get this headset in the West, but not really at the same time. But the Pico series, they're pretty decent headsets. It's wireless, PCVR streaming, standalone headset, 6 degrees of freedom. It does have a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 processor. And it's just an overall decent headset. I mean, it's even got built-in eye tracking in some of the models, so that's pretty cool. But this headset, many of you know, is also owned by its parent company, ByteDance, creators and owners of TikTok, or excuse me, the owners of TikTok, so a very big company. And recently, and I do put a big star on this, there is some news that shows they are getting very aggressive, and they might be future competitors. I have a lot of anecdotes here, a lot of asterisks. Please remember that any news coming out of China is very hard to confirm. There's almost no research I can do. I've been on forums in different places translating Chinese to English and trying to get some info, but it's very sparse, very hard, so take this all with that TLDR. But Beijing-based technology firm and TikTok owner ByteDance, they did raise their 2022 sales targets for virtual reality headsets, and they did raise this from 1 million units expected this year to be sold to about 1.8 million units according to local media outlet AR Circle. Now this revision comes following better than expected marketing efforts of Pico Technology and China's leading VR headset maker, who again was acquired by ByteDance. Now according to the report by domestic media outlet Late Post on March 3rd, several sources revealed that as of 2021, about 500,000 Pico products had been sold, and that was the team's target for 2022 was only 1 million, so they've already basically adjusted that. So it's very aggressive sales plans that they are only further increasing now, showing that Pico is a force to be reckoned with. Now, anecdotally, from the research I've been able to provide, it does look like Pico's putting a very aggressive marketing strategy over in the East. Their marketing strategy seems to be heavy influencer campaigns with a lot of high praise. There is reportedly possibly a reimbursement incentive program, so for those who buy a Pico headset and do some sort of app for a consecutive amount of days, you can actually get about half the cost of the headset reimbursed. I have tried my best to confirm if that's true or false. I have found 3 anecdotes of that online, but cannot find anything concrete, so put that for what you will. Now, there are also anecdotes, this video that is playing here in the background while I'm speaking, hopefully, that I was able to find as well. Translating a little bit of it, it does seem that the technology for the Pico Neo 3 compared to the Oculus Quest 2 is comparable. However, there are clear differences that you can't see visually, but the presenters who seem to be a little more real, less kind of paid influencer status, that there are some issues with this headset that do not stack up directly one-to-one with the Oculus Quest 2. But overall, this is interesting. You have ByteDance, who has estimated value of $500 billion as of today. Now that's estimated. Some people put it all the way to $750 billion, which is just insane. That's getting close to $1 trillion valuation. But ByteDance also has rumors that they might be bringing their headset to the West soon. If they do that, will they compete on cost? I don't know. But one-to-one, Meta's VR strategy and ByteDance's VR strategy are borderline one-to-one. The headset looks exactly like an Oculus Quest 2, the Pico Neo. Basically, they're produced in the same factory almost. They both are selling at a loss, and they are both using advertising and data to basically pad the cost here. So it's exactly the same strategy, just one's in the West, one's in the East. One you can't buy in the other. It's just tit for tat, but it'd be interesting to see if this becomes something bigger in 2022. Let me know your thoughts. But the secondary form of news is something Quest related. There is a new frame rate insurance that, while not applicable directly to the end user, it is something that developers can implement that might help you later on. And in a nutshell, it just seems to be, basically when playing wireless VR, especially multiplayer, depending on your connection to your router, modem, blah blah blah, depending on how much walls you have or interference, you can lose frames. This is pretty common, nothing new. Typically, though, they'll have to compensate by doubling down on those lost frames, and that's why you get that jitter. But this new frame insurance basically is using some type of process to duplicate that frame quickly so you don't get the jitter. Is this going to be drastically affecting if you have a poor internet connection or poor settings? No, it won't save you, but it is interesting the steps they're taking to make wireless PC VR streaming probably more and more fruitful. I think that is the right way. I think hybrid devices, ones that can play standalone fully or connect to a PC and wirelessly stream, is the future. I know everyone loves wires, and yes, wires give you a much more consistent experience compared to wirelessly streaming. However, I think we all know that there are limitations to a wired headset. Do I like having a wired headset that has to go to the PC right behind me where I can't just play in another room if this room is being used? That is frustrating, and I'm looking forward to a day when cloud streaming in VR is acceptable. Granted, wirelessly cloud streaming. Flat games needs to get better first, but that's neither here nor there. But those are two stories that have interested me over the weekend. There is a lot of talk and speculation happening on some bigger stories coming this week, so I hope to cover those if they do. But it's been fun talking with you. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Peace.